cartel hoe.
This girl in the red dress, I had to go snatch you up. We just haven't been as connected. I feel like,
Hey guys, it's Kyra here. So I just wanted to take a few moments to address some of the rumors. Yeah, let's get into it. So, Marriage in Love Huntsville. The new season kicked off Saturday on the OWN network. If you haven't checked it out, I definitely recommend that you do so. And with there being a new season means that there is also a super trailer, and apparently you see my face on the super trailer. So, what's going on? Why am I there? Is she on Marriage in Love Huntsville? Is she messing with a married man? Let's get into it.
This girl in the red dress, I had to go snatch you up.
So, first things first. No, I am not a repeat person on Marriage in Love Huntsville. One of the couples from the show came to Houston, Texas to promote their brand Black, and that they have a champagne that tastes like chocolate. It's pretty good. I do recommend it. And so I was invited, as well as some other castmates from Ready to Love, to go and show our support since we're all connected through the OWN network. I have not relocated. I still live in Houston. I've never even been to Huntsville. I'm not interested in anybody's husband. Not at all. That's not my style, or that's trifling. And so, yeah, that's it. That's all, y'all. That's it.
Because I was a producer, I had a producer background, I knew how this was going to go. Absolutely not. Let me tell you, I was 100% genuine, 100% authentic. Again, it's an edited version of Alexis, and I say that because they utilize a lot of my feisty part of my personality, and I think because they knew that would carry the show, as to say, because I'm assertive and I like to ask a lot of questions. And I was at the show because I was ready to love, not ready to play. Like, what are we really here for? Are you really here because your intent is to find somebody that you can be committed to, or are you here because you're trying to gain clout or anything like that? And let me say to the people out here, I didn't come on the show because I needed clout. Like you said before, I'm known out here. I was a publicist beforehand, so I've had a lot of clients that I've had the opportunity to build their brands and things like that. That's not what I was looking for. I was looking for the possibility to walk out of here with a potential mate.
Assurance, right? So what I'm really trying to get at, AJ, is the fact that I feel as though you knew that Alexis was not really a good fit for you. You weren't into her like that. And I felt as though you strung her along all the way to the end, and then you broke her heart. And then after the fact that you broke her heart, like basically eliminating her off the show, when she DM'd you, you continued to lead her on and play with her emotions because you knew that like she was into you and stuff. And then you kept feeding into that. And then at the reunion, you then say, when Uncle Tommy asked, like, so who would you leave here? Who are you interested in or whatever? You're like, not Alexis. That hurt me. And I'm like, whoa, like, it's not even me. Like, I just felt like, if you knew that you're not interested in Alexis, why go through all of those emotions, all of that effort to lead her on when you're not really that interested?
So you gave me a lot of intention, right? You looked and you observed, right? Mm-hmm. So you didn't speak from what an objective space and what you actually saw in the factual manner of what it is that you saw. You just gave me a lot of intention. You gave me a lot of motive. You gave me a lot of other stuff about what it is that I must have felt based on how the situation ended. But none of that is true for me, right? Because if I'm going the same way, I'm doing this for a reason, right? Because I think a lot of times, and even in this conversation, what you've done every single time that you've asked me another question is you streamlined and kind of taken things that I haven't said and made it be like, oh, well, this is what it is that you mean by what it is you're saying. You're summarizing. And instead of me fighting it, I'm agreeing with you. But I've never said any of that. But now I have to kind of redirect you to go ahead and say, like, hey, look, yes, whenever you're dating, nobody's a perfect fit from day one or day two or day 5 or 6 months or 7 months. People date for years, and they don't get to that next space of marriage or kids or whatever because it's something missing. Men may not necessarily tell you, but if it's a man living with you, if it's a man dating you, y'all being sexual or whatever, but he's not making you his girlfriend, he's not making you his wife, you're doing something that he doesn't like. It's something missing. I don't care what he's telling you. No, it's not you, it's me and all of that. No, you are not doing something. You're not filling the space. You're not filling the gap that's important for that man, because if you were, you would be in the space that you needed to be. Now, if a person can do that for years, you can't expect me to be able to do it in weeks. So if I find a person attractive, and men are basing how they approach women first from just an attraction space, then you have to be able to say, all right, it's going to be a bunch of stuff that I come into it knowing there's going to be a bunch of stuff that I'm not necessarily going to like about you. Is that a deal breaker for me? And you don't know if those things are going to be a deal breaker for you until you experience them to a point where you say, you know what? No, that's not going to be something I'm able to deal with. Because I had a conversation about it, I voiced my opinion about it. Oh, I don't necessarily like that. You should try something else. And they don't do that, and they continue to go down that path, and they not understanding you, and you feel like you had that conversation. How many times you have a conversation about something you don't like? Two.
Hi, you guys. So I just wanted to come and touch on a couple things. So, as you know, the season has ended for Ready to Love. Season 4, the reunion has passed. But even after the reunion, this is when we get to see the cast kind of do interviews and explain whatever it is that we thought we saw, because apparently we're not seeing everything as it happens, or there's so much that we don't see. So I do agree with AJ about that, but I don't think that it's okay for them to use that as an excuse for their behavior. I think some things, if these women are saying you were treating them a certain way and then you flipped up, it's probably the truth. I'm not going to sit here and blame that on editing. I think that if you're going out with someone and making them think that you're looking for a relationship as well, and you're not telling them the truth that you're not, then they're going to believe what you're telling them and what you're showing them. So I'm not going to accept that excuse as far as the editing stuff from Joel or from AJ, because I feel like AJ he made the statement early on that Alexis may not have necessarily been his cup of tea. So, but in fairness to him, I also want to say I felt like she had Ron more of it as a solid number one, as her number one pick. I didn't really think that AJ was her number one. I think AJ became that after the whole, spirituality, religion talk, things with, left with Ron over that. And then she started to focus more on AJ, and obviously AJ was the only person left. Once you get to a certain point in the show, you can't form new relationships with people, I don't think, unless that was something that was already going on. But anyway, so I agree with some of the stuff that he was saying. I could see how he could say, we're not seeing everything, we shouldn't form such strong opinions. But we are seeing what they are showing us, so that is where we're getting our information from. And I think the young lady's question was valid in that respect. You said in the beginning that you wasn't that interested in her. Obviously, Alexis did not know that he said that. It's probably until she saw it back. And then, if there are other things that he didn't like about her, he didn't say them in his confessional, so we don't know. And so how are we supposed to know that she really wasn't a top pick for him? It was Alexis and Kyra, right? And then Kyra had Jason as the other person. And then she had Ron as her other person. And I felt like Ron was a strong one for her, and I felt like Jason was a strong one for Kyra. So he kind of just played the middle and waited to see how things turned out. And then the opportunity came for him to have the upper hand over these women, if you really think about it. But let me know what you guys think about what he had to say in his interview. If you want to see the entire interview with AJ, you can go over to the Little Black Book 91, his channel here on YouTube, to watch the whole interview. The one person that I haven't seen any interviews for yet that I'm waiting on is Joel. And I'm kind of curious if he's going to do it now. He may not, because, during the season he didn't say a lot. he seemed to kind of avoid talking about the show. You know, I don't know, but in that one video with Tressa, he said he would explain himself. And so I'm just kind of waiting for that. And Alexis, she's doing some interviews as well. And Kyra, I'm not seeing much of the other cast members. I'm sure you guys have seen the interviews with Bernicia, and she was pretty much saying that, you know, there was some other hookups. So, and I kind of get the strong feeling that AJ was that person. And so is that part of it too? Like, if you're sleeping with someone, you know, you're leading that person on. If you're going that far, I feel like if you're going that far and you're not being honest, that's not just about somebody feeling their needs, you know. And you probably should let her know that, you know, we can hang out or what have you, but Kyra is the person that I want to select. You know, at the end of the day, I feel like at some point in this show, they could have all just been honest with each other. That's just my opinion. You guys can let me know what you think about the setup of the show. And do you think at some point, like, they should just go ahead on and be honest and see if the person wants to just go on to the end with them? I'm not saying on camera, but if these people are dating outside of the cameras, then they can have all the conversations that they need to have. We shouldn't see this type of thing play out to where you're hurting someone's feelings like that, making them think that one thing is going on when it's not. You know, there's no reason for stuff like that to happen when you could just be honest. And the person, if they really want to kick it with you, they're going to do that anyway, right? Everybody's grown, like Bernicia said. But let me know what you guys think about all of this and what you think about Kyra's brief appearance on Love and Marriage Huntsville. And she wanted to clear up the fact that she's not and was not dating anyone's husband. She wasn't picking up on anyone's husband at this party or whatever. I'm not really sure what her role was on the show, or if she was just there, like she said, and maybe the camera just picked up her being there, and people are just making what they want to of that. I don't know. But let me know what you guys think in the comments about what AJ had to say. And I'll see you in the next video.